right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to PJ Mustipher's Zoom press conference today. If you have a question, just the typical reminder, use the raise your hand function in participants, and I'll come over to you and unmute you. So we'll kick this right off with Partha Paye.
Hey, what's going on, PJ? Appreciate the time this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Kind of want to ask you your perspective of this, but Jahan Dotson's one-handed catch that kind of went viral, on Saturday night.
Right.
You're on the sideline. What are you thinking as you're seeing that unfold?
Oh man, it was shoot. I think we was all just like, wow. Like I think we were all just stuck in our seats, like looking up at the jumbotron and it wasn't as much of a surprise as it was to everybody else because we expect that out of Jahan. He's a wide receiver who's been making plays since day one, and we know he's capable of things like that. But when we saw it happen, I think we were all just kind of stuck there, like, wow, he really just did that.
Rich Garcella.
Hi, PJ. Thanks for your time.
Mm-hmm.
PJ, how would you assess the play of the defensive line so far, and in what ways does the group have to get better?
It's been good. We can definitely be better. I think we're 0-2, so I mean it's not up to our standards. We gotta get back to what we're used to and who we are. I think that first starts with stopping the run. That's been a big point of emphasis here in the past, and I really think that's what it has to be moving forward in order for us to get back on track and where we want to go as a team this season. So it's been solid. I definitely think guys are playing great, but we're 0-2, so there's a lot of room for improvement, and we're gonna have to do that in order for us to get this win this weekend.
Mark Brennan.
PJ, thank you for doing this today.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how do you guys go? I know you talked about stopping the run, but it also seemed, and maybe this is unfair, but maybe you didn't get as much pressure on the quarterback against Ohio State as maybe you would have liked. How do you go about maybe generating that, and what kind of feedback is Coach Scott giving you after these first couple games? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It starts in practice. You practice. You play how you practice. And if we're not getting the pressure, then we have to go back to what we're doing exactly in practice. As far as getting it from the scout team, getting a ton of reps in one-on-ones. So and we have two of the best edge rushers in the country. They're going to get a lot of attention. So, and that's when other guys have to step up. So, we're going to continue working it in practice. And, we'll take it from there.
Tyler Donahue.
PJ, good afternoon. Thank you for the time today. Good to speak with you.
Yes, sir.
A guy there at defensive tackle with you that we've seen quite a bit early on is Akeem Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Scott told us a bit about him last week. From your perspective, what has he done to push for more playing time, and what does his future at Penn State look like?
Oh yeah, such a bright future. Akeem's such a good kid. He's just a part of this family and this brotherhood. He's done an exceptional job developing into the football player we need him to be this season, and I know he's going to continue to get better. But he's doing a great job of really coming out there every day with a purpose and a plan to get better. He knows what he needs to improve on, and I think that's what he's doing each and every day. He practices hard, and I think it's really showing up when you turn the game on, when you turn the film on from the game. So, he's going to continue to get better. His future is as bright as he wants it to be. So, and I know he'll continue developing, when he'll take it from there.
Joe Giuliano.
Hello, PJ. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir.
Being 0-2 in a shortened season means that it's probably not likely that you're going to hit either of your two big goals, the conference championship or a playoff spot. I'm just wondering, how frustrating is that, especially considering all the uncertainty you guys went through in the summer about having a season and finally being excited to get back?
All right. Right. You know, all off season, that's what you work for. That's what all those summer workouts, all those winter workouts for, you know, you want to accomplish those goals. But in life, you're going to face adversity. And this isn't the last time any of us are going to face adversity in our lives. So when adversity does happen, you know, you have two options really. You can stop what you're doing and you can let it affect you, or you can use it as motivation and learn from it, and continue to get better from the adversity. So, you know, that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, we're 0-2, but we're not going to let it impact the rest of this season. We're going to continue to work hard every day at practice. And, you know, like Coach says, we're going to go 1-0 this week. So that's all we can do.
Tobias Wilborn.
Yesterday, what did it mean for you to have the day off, to be able to vote? And did you vote in person? Did you already vote mail in?
I did mail in. And just having the day off, it meant a lot to us. I think voting right now in this country is a big thing, and as it should be. You know, I think everybody needs to do their civic duty, and it's really important to have those people that you want in office, in order for you to see the community you want, whether that's living in a city, whether that's from a city perspective or a state perspective or a national perspective. I think just putting people in office who have the same viewpoints as you and just that whole idea. So, you know, having that day off to do that, it meant a lot to us. And, you know, we're definitely thankful for Coach for giving us the opportunity to go do that.
Benjamin Ferry.
Hey, PJ, thanks for doing this. Maryland obviously has a dynamic quarterback in Tylea coming in this week, coming with a big performance. So kind of what has jumped out on film from him, and just kind of what do you guys have to do to make sure you kind of contain him this week?
Yeah, I think he's a dynamic runner and a dynamic passer, and I think we saw that last week with the numbers he put up against Minnesota. You know, he's a very talented football player. We're just going to have to do our job. I think that's the biggest thing for us right now is everybody has to focus on what they're doing and not try to, you know, get out of that. Because when you have elite level athletes who come in there, they can have success if you're not doing your job. So we're just focused on doing our job as defenders, each and every one of us. And if we can do that, then we'll have success. But, you know, when he's scrambling, we got to be able to have our good rush lanes. We have to be aware of that. And, you know, we'll just take care of that as a defensive line.
Rich Garcella.
PJ, to follow that up, how does defending him compare to defending Justin Fields?
I don't think it changes at all, really. You know, they're two great quarterbacks, you know, and they're two great quarterbacks who can do it through the air and with their feet. So, you know, it really is the same. They're great quarterbacks, and we have to be able to stop them as a defense. So it really isn't any difference.
Mark Brennan.
PJ, to follow that one up, who is playing the QB on the scout team, and what kind of looks are those guys giving you, and how important is that player, you know, when you're preparing for this kind of quarterback? There
are a couple guys playing quarterback on the scout team. I believe they rotate. You know, they're doing a great job of it. They have the ability to run. So, you know, we get the look each week of a quarterback who's mobile. And I think that's important for us, especially for the defensive line, because when he gets out of there, we have to run him down. And, you know, it starts in practice. I mentioned earlier, you know, how you play is how you practice. So we have to practice containing him, not only in the pocket, but if he does get out, you know, run to the ball. So, yeah, we got a couple guys who are doing that for us. So.
Peter Terpstra.
Hey, PJ. Every year, you know, every team's different in college football. With that being said, you guys have been able to get some lopsided wins over Maryland the last 3 years. Why do you think that is?
Playing good football. You know, that's all it comes down to is just, you know, like I said, like I've have said, doing our job. Everybody does their job, and the rest take care of the rest of the game takes care of itself. So you know, that's really what we've done these past couple years, and that's what we're going to do on Saturday. Is just everybody's going to do their job and do it very well.
Mark Wogenrich. Mark, your sound isn't. Your sound is, I'm not sure what it is.
Now do you got me?
You're good now, Mark.
Sorry about that, BJ. You had mentioned earlier about facing adversity. What have you seen and heard from your teammates that they're doing it in a positive way instead of you saying allowing it to infect and become worse?
Right. I think the first thing is accountability. No matter who you talk to, you know, guys are holding themselves accountable before they're holding anybody else accountable. And I think that's how it has to be. You have to look yourself in the mirror first before anybody else. So I think that was the biggest thing for us, is we all have to reflect on what we're doing individually before we look at the team. So, you know, we did that when during film. You know, we took the criticism that the coaches were giving us, and we didn't get emotional from it. We used it as a positive thing. We did that, went out to practice on Sunday, went out to practice on Monday, and you know, just corrected those things and then move forward. And I think that's all we can do. I think guys have done a great job handling that adversity. We got another practice today, and you know, I'm hoping it's the same as Monday, where we're getting the good work in and we're focused on going 1-0 this week.
Tyler Donahue.
PJ, I wanted to get a little bit of intel from you on Curtis Jacobs, just because you've seen him come up through the process, and before we all knew about him. When did you figure out that he was going to be a big time college football prospect? How excited were you to get him on campus with you ultimately? And what do things look like him? We're now seeing him on the 2 deep at linebacker.
Right. Definitely. I think when Curtis first stepped foot at McDonough, you know, he was a bigger guy. He had a lot of versatility. He played wide receiver. He played like safety, cornerback, linebacker. So he was all over the field. So, you know, as soon as he stepped foot on campus, I was like, you know, this guy has, you know, the potential to be a special player. And I think that's what he's become. You know, and just today at Penn State, you know, he's a freshman. He's a young guy, but I think he's doing a very good job of taking in the information that the coaches and the older guys are telling him. He's on special teams unit. Like you said, he's in the 2 deep right now. So, you know, he's coming into work every day, soaking everything up, and just doing his job. So, you know, I'm really proud of him. Like you said, I've known him for a very long time, and, you know, I can't wait to see what he does at this level as well.
Partha Paye.
PJ, I just wanted to follow up on my last Jahan Dotson question. I know you said that, you know, what he did on Saturday, it wasn't a surprise to you or really anybody else on the team.
Right.
Kind of behind the scenes, you know, obviously we knew that he was good, but we hadn't seen that version of Jahan. What have you seen from him that lets you know that he can continue to do that rest of the season?
He puts in the work. You know, he's a hard worker. I think that when you're having success, because I mean, I thought he had success last season, but you know, he continued to develop. He pinpointed the things that he needed to work on in the off season, and after practice, you just see him drilling those, regardless if he has a good practice or not. So, you know, Jahan really puts in the work, and you guys aren't able to see that because you're not at practice. But you know, after practice, he's one of the last guys off the field, or in the weight room on the off day, catching on the jugs machine. So he just puts in the work, man, and I think that's really the formula to success for him.
Joe Giuliano.
PJ, how would you describe the balance that Coach Franklin presents to you guys? One way being, you know, giving out his criticism of your play as a team, mm-hmm. and number 2, keeping you guys encouraged and positive.
Right. You know, he's underestimated in that aspect because a lot of college coaches, you know, after a loss, you know, they throwing guys on the bus or you know, they're putting the blame solely on their players. But what Coach Franklin does is you know, most of the times after games, he's taking the blame for it. You know, he's not throwing any one guy under the bus for a loss. So, you know, that's really, you know, I have a lot of respect for him for that, and a lot of love and appreciation for him taking a lot of blame when he really doesn't. So, you know, that's why we play so hard for him, and that's why we're going to continue playing so hard for him. You know, he's our coach, and he lets us know that we're going to get through this together. And, you know, that's ultimately what we're going to do.
Elton Hayes.
Hey, PJ, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Hey, man, you're one of the many players on this Penn State roster from Maryland. You're going up against, you know, the I guess your home state team that you grew up around. You know, what does it mean to you to play Maryland? And is that something, you know, you and some of the guys from this, you know, who are also from Maryland talk about with each other before playing the Terrapins each year?
You know, yeah, I mean, it's cliche, but it's just another game for me. You know, I just want to get a win this weekend. That's all really I'm focused on. But, you know, playing home state, you definitely want to get a win for bragging rights as well. When you do go home, you know, you don't want to say that you lost to them. But, you know, that's about it. Like I said, at the end of the day, I just want to get a win this weekend.
Tobias Wilborn.
What's been the toughest part of the new COVID protocols? I know a lot of players are saying that they don't get to spend time with their parents like they used to, or the parents can't come to practice, all that. So what's been the toughest part for you dealing with all that?
Yeah, I think that's the toughest part, not being able to see your family as much as you're used to. You know, you can't interact with people outside of the building. You have to sacrifice your time outside of the building in order for us to continue moving forward this season without any COVID troubles. But that's about the hardest part. You know, I think you know, the program has done a great job with all the other with the COVID testing, you know, the protocols, going in there every day before you do anything and getting your test done. I think that's been easy, and I think they've done a good job making it easy for us as well. So, you know, not seeing our family, not being able to interact with any of your friends outside of football, you know, I think that's probably the most difficult part for us with COVID.
These will be the last two questions to Parth and Tyler. So Parth, you can go first.
Yeah, PJ, you kind of mentioned that, you know, even after 0-2 start, guys are not really down on themselves, and they're looking before they're pointing fingers or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Did that positive mentality kind of take some days to develop, or was that kind of the mindset in the locker room after the loss too on Saturday night?
That was kind of the mindset in the locker room after the loss, man. There were a couple guys who just really stepped up and said, like, look, you know, this isn't what we want. This isn't the outcome any of us. We work too hard, but, you know, we got to keep moving forward. This isn't the last game of the season. Excuse me, I cut out there. This isn't the last game of the season. So they kind of made that known for us. And, you know, that's what we're doing. We're moving on. Like you said, we're just going to continue to, you know, stack good days of practice and then go out there and perform on Saturdays and try to get a win.
All right, this will be the last question to Tyler Donahue.
PJ, I know if I ask this one generally, you're going to just say go 1-0, but individually over these next 7 games, what do you want to see from yourself as far as personal development?
For me, I want to stop the run first and foremost. No team should be able to run the ball on us for the remainder of the season. I think that's a big part of who we are and who we have been. So I personally want to be better in the run. You know, I want to continue to cause havoc in the pass game, and be able to get back to the quarterback, because I think that's definitely, you know, a big staple for good teams. If that front four can get pressure without anybody else, then I think that makes it easier for those guys on the back end of the defense. I want to do that, man. And I just want to get better. I want to continue to get better every day. And, you know, I want to continue to help the guys around me get better every day, because that's what we need to do in order for us to be successful and have success for the remainder of the season. So, you know, individually, I just want to continue to develop and work what I need to work on, as well as helping those guys around me continue to work and help them grow in the areas they want to grow in.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. Thank you, PJ, for your time today.